Hey y'all, just a quick little update on our seedlings that the kids planted recently. I'm going to be transplanting them from smaller pots to some larger pots just because I'm going to be separating all of them. I'm not trimming them out. I'm going to separate every little seedling that came up so we can have lots of little plants. So here's a little quick look at that and I'll show you the end result. Okay, here's our end result. We have all of the Roma tomatoes on this side, so I singled out each plant for its own pot. This side of it is cherry tomatoes.
They're good.
Yeah.
They're not good.
So the bell peppers, one of the cups did not germinate at all. So we have 2 cups of bell peppers, 3 in this one and 2 in this one, which is perfectly fine. 5 bell pepper plants will work just good, huh? Yeah. So I will continue to let these grow under the grow lights until we pass our last frost date, which will probably be sometime in February. So I'll just keep letting these get bigger until I can put them out in the garden without having to stress about frost.
Let's go.
All right, here's a quick little vegetable garden update for January, end of January 2021. So as you can see, the broccoli has bolted. We never even got a chance to eat this. We had a very warm spell a couple weeks ago and it just made all of them bloom. And I think it is one of the prettiest flowers I've ever planted. I mean, look at how huge this set of blooms is. I mean, it's so pretty that I told myself I just need to plant broccoli every year for the beauty. And as you can see, they are covered in bees. So I am overjoyed. I couldn't care less about eating the broccoli. I am just happy that I am getting to feed these bees during these cold winter months and drawing them to our area so they can stay happy through the spring. So I'm going to continue to let those grow and bloom. See, this is what the broccoli looked like at first, but see, even that has the little yellow heads on it. So there's some down below. I think that variety that I used, I can't remember the name of it now, I'll have to look it up, but that variety is probably not great for Houston. So these are the cabbage heads and they're looking pretty good. Some yellowing leaves that we just pop off and can put in the compost. But so far so good. I only planted 3 of those because we don't need a lot of cabbage, but those look good. The kale I've been picking off and harvesting for salads and such pretty often. This was the purple sprouting broccoli, and as you can see, it is purple on the bottom, which is really pretty, but I have yet to see any sign of it starting to head up. So not sure, again, with this variety, if we'll even be able to see any fruits of our labor with that, because I was hoping we would see some sort of head by now, and if we haven't, I'm just concerned we're not going to have enough cool weather left, but we'll see. The purple, the rubine Brussels sprouts are also one of the most gorgeous plants. That deep purple is just fascinating. Got some weeds too, but the Brussels sprouts are just now starting to show some signs of getting some Brussels on there. The celery is looking great. I've popped a few of these off and eaten them. All grown from seed, if you remember. The kids planted the majority of this stuff, and we planted it all from seed. A lot of it was under the grow lights, and then we just popped them in here when they were big enough. These are the curly Scotch kale. You did that one? Oh, he's in his undies. This is our garlic bed that you saw Bo and I planting all of those little garlic heads, and we don't see any signs of garlic growth just yet, which I didn't expect to, but there are lots of weeds. So I try to come through occasionally and pick through the weeds so we don't completely overwhelm this bed with weeds. Our blackberry is huge and kind of comes over onto this white thing. I think it's rooted itself in the ground at the end, which is fine. We have onions here. I think we have a radish left. What is this? Radish? No, beets. But I think this is like the only one that made it. The rest of them look too puny and didn't really do anything. Kumquats, lots of those. This is the onion bed. A couple strawberries right here. But these are full of the yellow and purple onions. Carrots. Carrots are looking good, but I didn't come through and thin them very often, so as you will see, there's a lot of crowding. Now, that's just going to end up causing smaller size carrots. So as you'll see here, see that one right there? So it might not be that big, but I can come through and thin them out still. My 3 blueberry bushes are in the middle of this bed, and they have no leaves currently, but that is typical. Except this one gorgeous red leaf. Oh, it just came off. How pretty. This is what color all the leaves were before they fell off. So, check this out. It's starting to bud up. This is the first sign of our coming flowers that will be gorgeous in a couple weeks. And then these 3 bushes will be full of blooms and bees. Well, hello. Back there is the lettuce. We harvested and ate that all winter, but now it is starting to set flowers and eventually go to seed, which is fine. Again, just going to let it go to flower for the bees. One last look at those gorgeous broccoli flowers. This is my new compost tumbler that Nathan got me for Christmas. So every day, gotta come out here and tumble it. So this green side I filled up first. Took everything from my fridge and then dried leaves. So you will see lots of stuff in there, but it's been tumbling now for a couple of weeks. Still not breaking down too much. I didn't have a way to chop up the leaves, so I just had to pour all the dried leaves in there the way they come, so it'll take a little bit longer. Plus it's winter, so it's not super hot. Same thing over here. I am using a compost accelerator powder, so every time I put a layer in, I put some compost accelerator to help with breakdown. I've put my coffee grounds and such as well. Salvia looking awesome. Angel trumpet tree coming back from the frost. Lemon coral sedum looking gorgeous. All the succulents performed well over the winter. I wanted to show you the Amaryllis that we had potted up in a recent video. The ones that didn't have any green now have some green coming out. This one does not still, but I'm not losing hope. I think it's down. Oh, actually, yeah, I see something down there. That's good. This one never lost its leaves, so it's doing well. And it's full of sunflower seeds because it's right under a bird feeder. Esperanza, Bougainvillea, still looking pretty. Actually still has some blooms right there at the bottom, crazily enough. It'll flush out here pretty quickly. March. Look, it's already getting some color on the tips. All that new growth is going to have colorful tips. It'll be gorgeous. And here we have the tropical garden bed. Looks pretty sad to me at the moment, but I know it could have been a lot worse. We did have a couple of freezes, so these are all of the rose mallow hibiscus that they die back every single winter. So this is exactly what I expected them to look like. I still haven't trimmed them down, but I'll come in here and trim them about 5 inches off the ground, and they'll flush completely back for the spring. Everything else is looking pretty sad, but by March, all of this will be flushed out and green again and gorgeous. Still have a lot of good looking things. Tricolor ginger is coming back. Flax lily looks beautiful. Variegated ginger, gorgeous as always. That agave took a big hit. So it is growing back fresh at the top here. And I am just curious to see what it's gonna end up looking like, because I'm gonna have to cut off all of these damaged leaves. So that might make it look a touch leggy, but we'll figure it out. All of the sweet potato vine that was here is gone, of course. It died with our first frost, so I just pulled it all out of here. Monstera is looking rough, of course, because it went through all the frosts. I covered it as often as I could. So what I will do is cut off any of the damaged leaves, and it will sprout out new growth, and it'll be no big deal. So I'm not concerned in the slightest. It's gonna look beautiful by spring. All the elephant ears have died off pretty much from the frosts. Some leaves are coming back, so I'll be trimming those dead things off pretty harshly after our last frost. The lamb's ear looks beautiful. It did well over the winter. Vitex tree looks dead, but it will sprout back. Our Confederate Rose that we've had for years since we moved in was huge and gorgeous every single year, but last year it got some kind of root disease and it completely died. Before it completely died, I took 2 cuttings, and I didn't think this was gonna work, but I stuck them in the ground and they lived. So this guy and this little gal right here are both cuttings from that Confederate Rose. So I am very hopeful they will both take off and produce us gorgeous blooms like Mama Tree did for years. One last thing I wanted to show you was my potted plants. I planted some nasturtium from seed in this tower here. This is the regular nasturtium, and then this is the Alaska variety. Oh my gosh, y'all, it is so beautiful. It looks hand painted. I'm not even kidding. It's just gorgeous. So I am going to plant lots of that this year, all over, anywhere I can find a spot. And it will flower when it warms up. Strawberries in this pot. Some didn't make it. A lot of them didn't make it, actually. These all came from my raised garden bed. But I think that was more of a me problem from not watering it properly. So I might get some more to add in there. The begonias did fantastic all winter. A few things here. Poinsettia from Christmas. All this looks great. Anything that was under the porch did pretty well. Even this coleus did wonderfully under the porch. I think I covered it once when it was getting down to 32. but otherwise I just left it. Did great. Oh, since we're over here, I need to point out the elephant ears that are on the side of the house. The alocasia that we had planted here looks real bad right now. So I'm gonna have to cut off all the damaged leaves, but check it out. I already have new growth happening. So I'm not concerned. It'll all come back and look beautiful after I get rid of all the damage. And here I have a bleeding heart, variegated bleeding heart vine that I have not seen bloom yet because I got it from the clearance section of Lowe's. And I'm very curious to see how it does. And I have an angel trumpet cutting that I stuck in here that is shockingly doing well. Lastly, I wanted to show you the ranunculus that Bella and I planted in my recent video. It is looking so good. Shockingly good to me, really. I'm hoping we see some blooms pretty soon. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to give y'all a quick winter update. Hope to get some more videos out soon as we start planting some more things for the spring when it warms up. So I really hope this inspires you to go plant something today.